G'day and welcome to another episode of Perth Property Insider. I'm your host, David Mynott, and today I've got David Mynott from Second Dawn Sustainable Building Company back on the podcast to talk about the building industry insights. And we're going to go into exactly what's been happening in the building industry over the last 18 months, what's led to these building and cost increases and blowouts, and how are builders actually faring from someone on the inside, and what is their pipelines looking at? Are people still building or have they stopped? And I think there's a real opportunity if you have thought about building, because we're looking at a Goldilocks right time to build before things potentially pick up again. And David's going to give us his insights. Really looking forward to getting his take. Let's go inside.
Welcome to Perth Property Insider, where you will learn how to grow your wealth and improve your life using Perth property. Our show is brought to you by Investors Edge Real Estate, the highly rated and award-winning property management specialists servicing the whole of Perth. Now, here is your host, Jared Mann.
G'day, David. Thanks for coming back on the podcast. We caught up in the other episode chatting about sustainable building, and you certainly filled me in on a lot of things that I didn't know. Hopefully our listeners got a lot out of that, so go back and check out that episode if you've missed it. But today I've got you back to chat on the building and construction industry and give us your valuable insights. So thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Jared. Really enjoyed our last chat, so I hope I can provide some real good insights today for you as well.
So what's it like in the building industry the last 18 months from the insider perspective? I know people are very wary at the moment of potentially building. What have you seen happening on the ground?
18 months for a builder, I think, ever. Definitely in my career timeline anyway. And something I've definitely seen is a lot of turnover and retention in staff in a lot of companies. There's a lot of burnout happening because it's actually really high pressure at the moment to be able to deliver for our clients. Obviously, we've had a lot of delivery delays and obviously been affected by COVID. So that supply chain's just not at its optimum. But then to enhance the problem, we obviously had the homeowners grant, which it pretty much crammed 2 years worth of sales into about 6 months. So we have 2 years worth of work to deliver on, and in the standard time frame of what people would have expected, which would have been a 6-month construction contract. But lo and behold, we're still here 2 years later, still building through those contracts because that's how much worth was signed up. And then on the other hand, builders have definitely been squeezed by subcontractors and suppliers with price hikes, and we've seen the damage that's done nationally with a lot of large home builders going under. So, it's just been a tough time for a lot of builders out there. But
I guess from the outside,
the good news is, look, I feel it's both because, we have people, not for us, but, there's definitely a lot of people out there that it's their dream home. It's their family home. It's something that they've been saving and working so hard for so long. And now it's either out of their reach or it's taken too long, or, now with interest rates going up, it's just a huge stress factor. So for the home builders out there, my heart goes out to them. It's not been an easy journey, but, I can see it from both sides, and the builder has just been going through as much pain as their clients in this time. The only silver linings
and their great ideas. I know intentions were good from them as well to try to prop up the economy and
absolutely
get people back to building. But
at the time, it seemed like the absolutely right thing to do, and seemed like it was going to be a great solution to be able to help prop up the building industry, which, employs like 30% of people nationally. So it did seem like a great idea, but I don't think many people thought about that long-term effects, like what could go wrong. And here we are living out the worst case scenario.
Yeah. So what have you seen actually happen to cost, and why is it costing so much more now than pre-COVID?
Well, it's a simple case of supply and demand. When it comes to labour, there's only so many people here in the state. We've also got a mining boom going on at the same time. So I know a lot of guys that went up north to go up there. So, you know, straight away off the bat, we've lost a good number of tradespeople in around the metro to up north. And then so obviously they were able to demand more money. And you've also got to understand that before that. So I think they're just taking the opportunity to get paid what they deserve. But, you know, you couldn't have built that into your fixed price contract knowing that, you know, end of 2020.
What could have happened.
That's right. So,
possible.
And then being in West Australia and Perth, we are the most isolated city in the world. So for suppliers to come to us, it definitely takes longer. We had a rail derailment earlier last year with the floods and stuff like that. So we, you know, stock literally just got stuck on the East Coast. It couldn't come on the train line. So that created huge problems for steel products and insulation products. And so it's just kind of been a combination of so many things going wrong at the same time. Look, it's been an experience, and I think those of us who are still here will be a lot more wary in the future for sure.
So crystal ball time, when do you reckon these construction time frames and costs are going to level out, or are you game enough to put a prediction on that? You can give me some caveats to it.
Yeah, look. So, you know, what I'm seeing from our suppliers, we got another price rise on a few items in July. And I think that had a lot to do with the extra fuel costs that's been going up. And of course, that's got to do with war in Russia, in Ukraine, sorry. And so that's the last price rise we've got. And we haven't got anything this month. And I'm not getting any further emails saying that there's going to be any more price rises coming up. So I think what we've done is we've finally hit the ceiling of price hikes. And, and well, you know, even the same with trades, like what's happening at the moment is because the industry went the way it did and it wasn't good. A lot of people, like I said, are wary to build. So sales pipelines for a lot of building companies aren't high at the moment. Like there's been a 25% drop off in sales. So what we're going to see sort of coming into next year is that there will be a bit more of a lull and things will definitely calm down. And because of that, you know, prices will become a little bit more competitive, but they're not going back to the prices they were pre-COVID. So like if people thinking, I'll just wait out and, you know, we'll get a good price again, like it don't reevaluate what you sort of expect around how things are still going to cost. And builders have a lot of catch up to do in terms of like just losses. So I don't think builders are going to be reducing their price,
even if they wanted to.
Yeah. Like, so I don't think that we'll see prices like they once. A good year coming up and beyond. I think that we've come out this pretty strong. And like I said, with suppliers and tradesmen, I think, like I said, it's been an experience, but also everyone from my experience has really come together to help each other out. And we're going to just have a tighter network sort of going into 2023. And yeah, I've been really impressed with the industry, and how it's responded with each other. And yeah, my experience is that there's just been a lot of help where people can. So it's been really a real positive.
Well, that's good on the inside to no point fighting against each other. Everyone, you know, trying to get an outcome for the client, and it's good to hear that you're getting together on the same page to do that. So that's great.
Yeah, definitely.
And how you mentioned builders pipelines, so they're obviously seeing a fair decent slowdown to things. What do you reckon is going to happen moving forward into next year? Is that going to mean that they're going to be able to build things more quicker and get back to a quicker time frame?
Definitely. And the other thing as well is builders have regained their confidence in doing, fixed prices because we're confident that we're not going to be seeing additional price rises. So what I'm seeing is that, yes, the market is very cautious in wanting to go and build. What I think is that there's going to be a real good opportunity between October to about March to actually get into a builder to get something, to get on their books, to get something built, because as you know, once everyone knows about something, that's when it's too late to get in.
That's why I wanted to get you on, David.
That's right. And so what I think is going to happen is that when people realize, oh, now's actually a good time, things are stable, I'm going to get to my builder now. If you didn't get in early, we'll probably see a little bit of a bulge again where people finally think, all the projects people have been holding off on till it got, stable again. They'll be at the back of the queue and they'll still be waiting. So, yeah, I think there's going to be real good. There's going to be a little golden opportunity.
Yeah, the Goldilocks window, as some people call it, in
to get
fields.
in.
Yeah.
And I do see
where
builders.
It's just right.
Yeah, and the builders are offering small incentives, nothing huge, but they are offering some incentives to obviously make, shore up their work in the future. It's definitely a good time coming up to get ahead of the game where you'll be, your project will be forefront of everyone's mind and things will free up again. So, you'll be looking at
what you said, that you're not seeing the prices continuing to increase, and that's a good sign for inflation overall, I'd have to think. If we can start hearing this from a number of industries, and you'd have to imagine that construction sees a lot of industries, products and things being imported from all kinds of places. So it's a good barometer and litmus test if you have seen the prices stabilise, and hopefully we'll see that popping up in inflation too soon.
Yeah, and I've been seeing more product back on the shelves, and we're getting emails saying, we're double stocked, we're good to go, we're ready to service. So that's that supply chain that have been working so hard to ensure that they're protected, just in case something else does go wrong that we can't see. But definitely seeing the return of materials, and it's been a lot easier to get access to them and quicker turnaround times. So that's been a real positive.
So is there anything else builders are doing to try to steady the industry you've seen?
Look, not that I've seen, and I have noticed definitely a lot of builder advertising going on, but in terms of stimulating, I don't think builders want to over promise and under deliver like they have.
It's an expectation management thing, isn't it?
Saying that, we are definitely offering things to encourage people to build with us, but that's not for our overall sales pipeline or anything, but that's because I have such a, passion for converting any home into an energy efficient home. So, where we can get people on board with that, that's, I'll be open to that any day. So I haven't seen a whole lot of incentives yet. And, same with the government. Haven't seen too many further incentives.
Stay out of it, which might be a good thing.
They've probably learned their lesson. Yeah. And our industry bodies as well, they've been doing a lot of good work in providing resources for potential clients as well as builders around that expectation management and what the future landscape might look like. So I think all in all, we've gotten through the worst now, and that like I said, there's some real good opportunity moving forward.
So what's your thoughts on the damage that has been done with different builders going under? Because it's always hard when you watch the news, because they bring to your attention the one or two, or I don't know how many there could have been, but you always seem to see it on the news when it does happen. How have people ended up that might have been in that sort of situation with the builder that did go under?
Well, that's why we have home indemnity insurance policies. Yep. So they will get enacted, and builders will take those projects on and finish them out. So
So there is that sort of protection there.
Look, they will be taken care of. The only problem is that it will take longer, for that builder to then take that project on, and they'll have to fit them in and schedule them in and so on. But, I have actually even seen builders reaching out to people who've been affected, like, hey, give us a call and we'll sort you out. So there's been definitely a good call to action to help them out. But that's why we have that home indemnity insurance policy. And that was created to protect the consumer from this exact thing happening. And what we will see moving forward is obviously the insurers will tighten up their policies and not want to dish out too much indemnity insurance or over leverage themselves.
Premiums are probably going to go up as they are in every field.
Yeah, that's right. So at least those families will be taken care of. That's another positive, but they will have to just wait for the builder to get to them. Like I said, though, we've gone through that big hump of work and we're gone on the backside. So things are starting to free up. So it's good.
Yeah. Hopefully we've seen the last of them, and builders that remain will keep their head above water and get back to more normal business as usual coming into 23, I'd hope.
Yeah. Look, I'm an optimistic person always, but I genuinely feel next year is going to be, just a re-establishment to getting back to that, the way that things were. And so, I'm really looking forward to it.
And so do you think investors and homeowners should wait until next year, or I guess this is a great little window for them to jump in if they've been thinking about it? From everything we've spoken about today, it's sounding that way.
We're getting quite a few good inquiries and been signing up a few. So, there people were still wanting to build, which, is, if I can be honest, somewhat surprising because, people have
delayed.
Yeah, that's right. And so people have still got their plans. And, we do have a lot of conversations around the same things we've talked about. Trade availability, is this fixed price? Is things going up? There's still that caution in the conversation, but I'm so much more confident with being able to be open and honest with our clients on how things are and where things are going. And that's definitely, it's good to be able to reassure them that, we are getting back to a business as usual.
Yeah, excellent. So is there any help from federal, state and industry bodies to help the industry from your side? I know we spoke that they're not really doing anything else for buyers and on the consumer side.
There's nothing building specific. There's still COVID grants and relief stuff out there. There are still grants for if you're doing, new types of ways to build. So if you're getting into manufacturing or doing new design, the government will contribute to part of that cost. Right. So there, but
on the innovation side.
Yeah, but those programs have been around for a while. But in terms of builder relief, no, there hasn't been anything from the government. And I think maybe at the end of the day, it's probably not the government's responsibility to have to be bailing out the builder either. Yeah, it's sort of just one of those, it's like, where do you stop trying to help and assist? And so, I think with any sort of private company, you get built on your merits, right? So sometimes it is helpful to have the government there, but in a free market, it would work anyway. Even if, if there's never those incentives in the first place, good builders would have found a way to have got work. And that's how business works. So, but I think, like I said, we've gone through the worst now, and it's those that are still here. We're just gonna sort of shake that one off, write that one down the books for learning, and just crack on.
Yeah, awesome. So thanks so much for joining us today. If people want to find out more info on your building company, Second Dawn, I'll put your links in the show notes, and we'll have to get you back in 6 months or so to give us some more insights on how things are progressing in the building industry. No doubt there's going to be lots of change further ahead. So appreciate your time and for joining us.
That'd be great. Thanks for having me again.
Just a reminder that the information discussed in this podcast is general in nature, as we don't know your specific situation. You should always seek professional advice before taking any action. For free market reports on your suburbs of interest and other helpful resources to grow your wealth, make sure you join my property investor update at investorsedge.com.au/join. And finally, make sure you're a member of our Perth Property Investment Facebook group to be part of the conversation with other like-minded investors, get help to your questions, and get a feel for what's going on out there in the market. I'll see you in the group.